Hey, we're a couple of ugly motherfuckers, and it's time for Predcast. It's Predator time. Talking Predator, the movie.
That's
the
right.
Predator.
Alex, I don't know if you realize this, but this is our first video podcast where we're doing a movie review.
Oh, our first Minisode podcast.
That's right. Hey, everybody.
No, I mean mini vidisode.
Mini Vidisode. For anybody who doesn't know, we take these movies that come out sometimes and we talk about them. Talk about if we like them or not, but it's only the really divisive ones, isn't it, Alex?
It's mostly the ones that we've determined have more than 10 minutes of stuff to talk about.
That's true. Yeah, because, everybody loves Infinity
So
War.
sometimes they're real good, sometimes they're real bad. Who knows? We don't know. All we know is that it's time to talk about fucking movies.
That's right. So, hey, everybody. Last week, a movie came out called The Predator.
Not nary 3 days ago, really.
Nary 3 days ago. And this was the fourth, I guess,
Of the mainline movies, yes.
of the mainline movies. So, yeah, the original Predator, 1987.
So, yeah, classic, one of your faves, right?
Oh, yeah. Top five. In my top five favorite movies,
All right,
Predator.
I want to say, off the top, that I am so surprised and I just cannot believe that Shane Black has given us the worst Predator movie. I did not expect that.
Yeah. Where do we even start? That's a good place to start.
Well, here, let me actually want to start. I just want to say, off the very top, making movies is hard, and everyone involved in the production did the best they could, and I want to give everyone a nice pat in the back there. You tried.
Well, yes. And I think things that, there are some good things about this movie and some bad things about this movie. And, when we're on the other side of this coin, Alex, we're always the ones saying how movies don't belong to people. And if we don't agree with them, then, tough cookies, right? Because they're made now and it's in the universe and then that's what it is. So,
yeah, but it doesn't mean that I can't be constructively bitchy.
With that said, The Predators 2018 is...
No, just The Predator, just the one.
Oh,
Predator.
yeah, that's right.
Just
yeah,
the one.
That'll be the next movie.
Well, first of all, off the top,
yeah.
this movie's not even about the Predator, so it's a stupid title.
Okay, yeah. But there's so much to unwrap about this movie.
Yeah, so we're going to have to go through beat by beat.
Okay, but you're right. No, the movie is called The Predator, and it's not about the Predator.
It's not really about anything. It is about something, but we'll get to that because what that something is just so dumb. So it starts with a couple of spaceships, as you want in your Predator movies, right?
Yeah, you got one spaceship chasing another spaceship.
And we see what Predator version of warp speed is like, so that's fun. It's like not slip space, it's like tearing holes in the fabric of space-time.
Yeah, and that's all good.
I disagree.
Well, that tiny detail is not a deal breaker.
No, I'm just saying, I find that, Predator doesn't need to be so highfalutin sci-fi.
Well, sure, and that is a common theme that will run throughout this entire review.
It's fine.
Yes.
It wasn't like, the movie didn't start, I was like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm like, oh, okay, here's spaceships. I'm just saying in general, but we'll get to that later. And then Predator crashes on Earth and stuff. And his ship he takes an escape pod and his ship is crashed. And here's where the movie... Well, when you think about it upon reflection, falls apart immediately because.
I guess.
Well, let's think about it. So here's the thing. So in the movie, this Predator, who I'm going to refer to as the Predator,
right?
Because there's a Predator and Super Predator.
He's our main Predator.
But he's not the Predator because he dies halfway through. And also full spoilers because that's what these miniatures are for. They're for spoilers.
Oh, yeah. By the way, everybody, spoilers ahead. But, come on. It's the Predator.
Yeah. So, this Predator, it's revealed halfway through the movie that he's a good guy, and he's come to Earth to help us fight other Predators. But if he's a good guy come to Earth to help us fight Predators, why is the first thing he does kill a bunch of dudes and string them up?
Okay. Yes.
What the fuck, man?
So, before we know any of this about the Predator, we just assume this is a movie where this predator comes to Earth and he's looking to hunt people, right?
Well, no, because
So-
he's being chased and he crash lands.
Well, actually, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So then it doesn't make sense.
And it's also a little
right?
weird. It's like, oh man, I'm a fugitive from the law, but there's all these juicy humans I can string up by their gizzards. I might as well.
But I guess like before any of it is explained, it's sort of like, well, okay, this is ambiguous. We're gonna find out what's going on later.
Yeah, it still
Right.
doesn't
So
make no
you're
sense.
still like you're still on board in the sense where you're just like, well, okay, I don't quite know what's going on, but like
It's
let's
acceptable.
see what happens,
At a
right?
glance, it's acceptable, but it falls
Right.
apart the more you think about it, almost entirely.
Total. Oh yeah. By the time the movie's over, this whole thing doesn't make any sense, right? Once they explain what's happening, it doesn't make any sense.
And then we got this guy whose name I can't remember.
His name is
McKenna.
Boyd Holbrook as Quinn McKenna.
McKenna.
Yeah. So he's out as a sniper.
Yeah, and he's in some sort of hostage situation, and he shoots like a cartel leader, and those hostages are fucking dead.
Right.
They're dead. Like he's like, I did it, and he runs away. But there's like 1,000 other gangsters there, and they're just gonna shoot all those hostages.
Well, yeah, and what's happening is, okay, a giant spaceship is crashing right above this whole thing, and then everybody's just going, hey, the mission, pal. So then he kills one of them, and then the spaceship flies sort of,
yeah,
into him.
spaceship stuff.
And then him and some other random guy, some other soldier, they come across the spaceship. He swindles some technology that he finds on the spaceship, including the Predator mask and the Predator gauntlet that shoots out stuff.
If only Toys R Us were still around. Pick up some of those.
So then he inexplicably mails us back to his family or something.
There's a great thing I read that it's like, man, in this universe, you can ship expensive, heavy equipment to America, to a P.O. box, have the P.O. box, reject it, send it to his house, all before he gets flown, all before this main character has to take a shit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty impressive postal service they have in Predator.
It's like a same-day mail service, yeah.
Pretty incredible. So this main character, I found him totally unlikable. I can't think of anything good about him at all.
Well, yeah.
Aside from him being a kick-ass soldier with his shoots.
And I think this was kind of something I was leery of from the get-go, from the trailers.
Little Dennis Leary.
Is thinking, hey, yeah, he's a little Dennis Leary Jr.
No, I'm just saying you were Dennis Leary of it. Never mind.
Is this guy was in Logan?
Yeah, I like him, like the actor.
And he was cool in Logan, but he was the villain. And I was thinking, well, maybe he's just the villain.
He kind of plays the same character too.
He kind of does.
He's just like a swinging dick asshole.
And that's the thing is like the way the movie. Well, whatever. The movie. Yeah, takes some weird turns with this guy, but. So yeah, he mails this back to his family by accident, and his kid, who was on the spectrum,
and how
opens this box. It's not the mom.
Well, we're missing. Hold on. There's a scene where he,
right,
puts all the chess pieces back together. I already like that.
Which is fine.
It's fine, but the whole scene just felt like this feels like movie Asperger's or autism. It doesn't feel like real autism, which is, I guess, fine, but it's not fine, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Asperger's and or autism to know if it is movie autism or not, but it felt like movie autism.
Well, sort of like, are we talking about how Power Rangers was, maybe?
Yeah.
You remember it was
like I thought we were talking about the 90s one. I'm
Saban's Power Rangers?
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Kind of.
Anyways, I mean, I don't know if it's problematic. I would need
not really problematic, just sort of quite cliche, I guess, is what I'm more thinking about.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't think it's offensive necessarily,
but it's cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so
same with them bullies, a couple of cliche bullies you got going on over there, which is fine. It's kind of, it's part of the course.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have a big role in the movie, so like I'm fine with it. So our main character, Quinn McKenna, he's getting debriefed by some army folks while his son is unpackaging this Predator stuff.
Sterling K. Brown, was that his name?
And yes, the head of this is Sterling K. Brown, which is an actor I really enjoy and who's like on the rise, right?
Oh, and by the way, the little kid is Room from Room.
Oh, his name is Room?
No, he's not
from Room.
Have you not seen Room?
Haven't yet.
Oh, then you would understand that I'm just making a joke based on the title.
But he's
the kid from Room. Fantastic
Nameless.
actor. He's awesome. No, he's got a name in that.
Oh, okay. So up to this point, I'll be honest, Alex, I was still hopeful.
When I watched the movie, I was like, "Hey, look, it's Room from Room." I don't know. To me, that was a joke I made in my head, and it was funny to me.
Yeah. Well, hey, for all you roomies out there, you know what's going on. But I don't know about you, Alex. Up until this point, I was still pretty hopeful.
Oh yeah, like
this was like Shane Black, kind of like, okay, he's getting debriefed. He's kind of an asshole. This is like some Shane Black banter going on.
No, I'll pinpoint. I mean, you can do the same, but when we get to it, I'll tell you exactly when the movie went from totally fine to like really, really boring.
I guarantee it's probably going to be the same.
Probably.
Spot.
So he got some stuff, and then like
the kid starts unpackaging this stuff, and he starts messing with it, and he starts learning how to use it. But then they don't really explain how he knows or that he really knows.
Because he's fucking autistic. What if he just can read alien Google Apps? Who knows?
Well, what I mean is, like, later on, it doesn't really come back around.
I thought it was perfectly self-explanatory. I thought it was obvious he was learning.
Sure. But then this sort of triggers the one spaceship that was chasing our Predator to then head towards Earth. Mm-hmm. And then meanwhile, Olivia Munn's character is summoned, and she's a scientist to go to this research lab where they've captured this Predator.
Well, hold on. First, I want to say that the mom character is also introduced, and
that
actress, I think Yvonne, I can't remember how to pronounce her name. It's like Stresafasowski or something.
That's her. Well, what about her?
First of all, I think she's a great actress, and it's like, oh man, she's just so wasted in this role.
Yvonne
Strahovski, right?
As Emily.
She's a bit wasted, but her American accent's very nice because she's Australian or something.
And then they also kind of make her the worst mom in the world.
Yeah, there was that part where it's like, hey, you want to be shitty Frankenstein or a shitty pirate? And it's like, first of all, there's so many things wrong with this scenario right here. It's Halloween night, and you're giving your kid a costume on Halloween night?
Well,
get with it. Like, come on. Second of all, she's like, Frankenstein. It's like you as a mom should know if your kid knows who Frankenstein is, and you don't have to explain it to him.
Well, and then there's something that happens a little bit later on that's like 100% parent foul, but we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Her character, her acting and her character is pretty wasted in this movie.
Yeah, no, I hope she gets in. I like her and stuff, but like it's just like it makes me sad to see. An actress like her just being in like whatever mom and who cares movie.
I mean, I could easily say that about a really nice, I liked the cast of this movie. I was excited.
No, yeah, this cast is stacked cast.
Stacked cast, and we will see that they all get kind of underutilized.
I think they approach utilized and then don't.
Yeah. So then, okay, while Olivia Munn and Sterling K. Brown and a bunch of scientists, including Gary Busey's son...
Jake Busey. I'm not Gary Busey, I'm Jake Busey. You can tell from my teeth.
Which also, great casting, I thought, for him.
No,
also,
it's
right?
Like, I think he's related to the character, I assume, right? From Predator 2.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, huh?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
And he didn't die, which is great. I like Jake Busey.
Yeah.
Didn't he blow up that thing in Contact? Well, that was Jake Busey, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't he that suicide bomber?
It was, yeah. Wow.
Jodie Foster, I'm going to blow up your spaceship.
That was before I even knew who he was. That's crazy. I can picture him too. I can still picture the Anyways, so there's a few different things going on at the same time here. There's the kid that is futzing around with the technology with the Predator. Quinn, the dad of this kid, we've discovered. Sorry, if it hasn't been made clear yet, the main character, Quinn McKenna, the sniper, he was somewhere else
Mexico.
We don't even know where. Oh, he was in Mexico
or something like that.
and he's the father of this kid, and so the military's like, oh shit, he saw aliens. We gotta like detain him. So then they put him on this truck with other military criminals, and this is where we meet our main like ensemble cast.
Yeah, you ragtag bag of losers.
Are your ragtag bag of losers?
I don't like how in this movie the government's like, oh man, they like smelt that alien. We got to kill him. It's like, calm the fuck down, everyone. Like, this is so illogical. And like, not asking for logic in a movie is not always, you're never going to get really rewarded. But it's a sort of like, why are we wasting everyone? Like, they never explain like why, like just why.
Right. And then they also
Why
are
bother?
like super casual about this whole thing. They're just like, well, you're going on this prison thing now. And he's like, oh, okay. And then they put him on the truck. Now, in this truck, we got Keegan-Michael Key.
Yay.
We have Augusto Aguirre. Oof, God. Someone I've never heard of.
I liked him. He was fun.
Alfie Allen. That's Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. Thomas Jane.
The Punisher.
And Keegan-Michael Key. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
And then Trevante Rhodes, who was from Moonlight. Right?
That's where he was from. I was like, where the fuck is this guy from?
The main character, adult version from Moonlight.
He was like, he should have been the main character. I loved him.
He's great.
Like, he had like pathos and interesting stuff. And
Yeah. But here's the thing, we're set up now for our Predator movie. And I was like, man, this is going to be great.
And then for a second, it was.
For a second, it was.
Well, so but we didn't mention they captured the Predator, and then like he's been held in government science prison,
right?
And he escapes handily, which is like, just put more bolts on him. Like, what the fuck you guys doing? You fucking Mickey Mouse ragtag.
These are the dumbest scientists probably ever. Because he's strapped up, and then he just wakes up, and then he busts through the straps and starts killing people.
It's like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And then we know something is amiss, something is awry when he decides not to kill Olivia Munn.
No, well, hold on.
Okay.
First of all, they also like, oh man, this fucking like human DNA in this Predator. What the fuck, man? And then like that's like comes into play later. And then,
which is funny because it sort of does and sort of doesn't.
Yeah. It's a little unclear as to why that particular Predator has the human DNA in him, I think.
Well, and also, yeah.
But yeah, the Predator, well, how isn't it's not really a miss that the Predator doesn't kill Olivia Munn. That's the Predator's MO,
Oh, that he doesn't kill
He doesn't
things
kill the
unless they're a
unarmed.
threat.
He only kills
That's
threats or things that are worthy. It's honor and shit, man.
That's true.
Although it didn't really require Olivia Munn being naked for that, though. Although it's only shoulders up nudity, but it's still like, why?
I sort of felt like a little bit, yeah.
It would like if I felt like they were setting up something funny where she would have to like do something. It's like, oh, how's she gonna get out of this one? But she doesn't need to. So I'm just like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, it's just your old school Hollywood a touch of perversion in there.
Well, I mean,
right? But yeah. Okay, so the Predator escapes, busts out into the roof of this complex and is running away from everybody. And the people in the truck, the soldiers, the military criminals see this happening. I believe they take this as an opportunity to bust out of the truck, but rather just bust out of custody, right? And then they scoop up Olivia Munn because
she was on the roof.
She was on the roof, and Right, the military was about to kill her for no particular reason.
Well, she tranks herself in the foot, too.
Oh, yeah. But why were they going to kill her?
Because, who cares? Who knows? I have no idea. Also, I always find it a little weird how Olivia Munn's some scientist, and then, like, when Predator escapes, she's, like, rootin' tootin' ready for shooting.
Yeah, she chases after this Predator.
Fine, like, it's, like, cool, but it's just sort of, like, when I see movie scientists, I don't expect them to be all gung-ho action. It's just sort of odd, and, like, they never, like... It just her characters. I don't know. It just didn't seem right.
And then also the Predator was kind of dumb. Like, I didn't get what was going on with the predator in that scene. Like, it seemed very dumb for this predator. So basically, what happens is the predator is running on the roof. Everybody sees it, jumps off the roof, starts running down the middle of the road, and then these soldiers are like shooting at it and stuff, and like I don't know, some other bullshit. But anyways, so Olivia Munn is with our soldiers now.
Yeah, and they're on a bunch of choppers.
And they're on a bunch of choppers, and they say, "Get to the choppers,"
which is got a big ol' yay from our audience.
Yeah.
And I am throwing the gauntlet down. Any future Predator movie is not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, but they will.
Like, let's cut it out now. It's getting annoying.
Yeah.
Like, get to the chopper, or you're one ugly motherfucker, or
Oh, right. She says, "You're one beautiful motherfucker." You remember that?
yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
or come on, kill me. None of that.
All right.
I thought that was like the worst part of the Predators movie. Is like the end. It's like, let's just do Predator, the climax of Predator, but do it again.
Yeah. Almost like beat for beat, right?
Yeah.
He even has the torch with the fire on it. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about that later on, by the way. So we get to this point where I guess the predator has gotten away.
Yeah, he's gotten away. He's looking for his mask or whatever because he like looks through like another mask his mask, and he's like, kid.
Yeah, and then these soldiers, I mean, they hang out in some hotel room, but then they go to the main guy's house where.
Well, I'm saying that hotel room scene is my favorite scene in the movie.
It's pretty good.
Just having some witty banter. It's like Shane Black is Shane Blackiest. I liked it a lot. I like
Classic
all the characters.
Shane Black.
Alfie Allen is conspicuously missing during that scene, though, for some reason.
They show him hanging out outside, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know
why.
he's like outside, but like you never see him in the thing, which is a shame because I don't think he doesn't like say anything ever really.
Out of the whole gang, I think he's underutilized.
I feel like
probably.
Alfie Allen outside of Game of Thrones is like never utilized in anything. Like he's like there for like 2 seconds in John Wick, right, and then dies.
Right. Yeah. So they make it back to the burbs, and they make it back to this kid's or this guy, not this kid. They make it back to this main soldier's family's place because he's like, "Oh shit, they must have shipped the box to the." I don't know how he knew. I forget, but they go back. He discovers that the kid has opened the box, and the kid has taken the technology.
Yeah, and he casually kills that guy on accident.
Oh yeah, he blows up a house. But what I love about this scene, and I don't know if anybody caught this or not, but they're like, "Hey," to the mom, they're like, "Hey, where's our kid?" And she's like, "I don't know," or whatever. There's not even that conversation. It's just this kid is out in the neighborhood trick-or-treating by himself for whatever reason, which I don't think that doesn't happen.
Well, it doesn't really make any sense because he's like, I don't want to go trick-or-treating. And then he finds the predator mask. He's like, yeah, I'll wear this for trick-or-treating. It's like, we don't, like, why?
And that's the thing is, like, why it's not addressed that the mom just...
I mean, I assume he just left, but like, yeah, she was a pretty
how does
mom.
that happen? Yeah. So then it cuts to this kid. He's out trick or treating. He blows up a house. That's how they find him because they see an explosion.
They're in an RV right now for no reason. Also,
right? They found an RV somehow.
I don't know if they found it, if it's one of their RVs, but there's just an RV in the movie, and then also one of them has a car, and then like it's like where are all these vehicles coming from?
And one of them has a police car.
It's like, I get that he stole it probably, but it's just sort of like, okay, now we have a whole squad of vehicles.
And then somewhere along the line, they found all these weapons. Like,
it
didn't show any
everyone
of that.
does have machine guns.
It didn't show them. It didn't show them get the RV. It didn't show them get the police car or whatever the other car was. It didn't show them pick up the weapons. Like, we just go straight from point A to point F.
Well, it doesn't matter because this is still in the point in the movie where I'm having fun. I'm enjoying
Me
myself.
too.
I'm like, whatever.
Me too.
Like, it's embracing how stupid it is. I love it.
Right. Yeah, it's still fun up until a little bit further.
And then they got the Predator dogs. So big super predator shows up with his Predator dogs.
And even that was fun.
And I like how you can tell they're Predator dogs because they have Predator hair.
They got the
just like human dogs have human hair. That's a joke I stole from the internet, but it's still funny.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the predator dogs. That was still like, okay, I'm fine with this. This is still fun.
I mean, like, didn't they have predator dogs and predators, and then weren't those dogs like unnecessarily spiky?
Yeah.
It's like these are different dogs. What's the deal?
Wasn't that on just a
some
different...
consistency with my predator dogs, please?
Well, hold on. I don't know if those are predator dogs, were they?
I don't know what the fuck.
Because they were just on some other planet where a predator was hunting.
He was hunting with the dogs, so the
Something.
dogs were hunting them.
Oh,
with,
okay.
Like, but that was also a different super predator. Now we got multiple super predators.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. Because Predators in the timeline takes place after this, right? Takes place in the future?
It takes place in the modern days.
But they have a spaceship and they go off to some planet or some shit?
They're like captured from Earth and put on a space game range.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So it takes place before.
It takes place whenever you want it to take place.
Okay.
I assume it took place in 2010 or whenever that movie was made.
But yes, up to this point, we have little glimpses of what this other predator is that's coming to Earth, and then I think right around this time is when we're introduced to the second predator, and this is when the movie, for me, takes a hard turn.
A nosedive, you might say. Yeah, they go to some school, and there's a big shootout, and they kill one predator dog and maim another one.
Uh-huh.
And then Olivia Munn's like, oh, if you don't have guns, he might not shoot you. But that's the last time that's ever brought up, and they don't do that. And then Predator gets dragged through a window, and his face gets smashed in.
Right. Yes, and his face gets smashed in by a giant predator, a giant CG predator,
which can grow with an exoskeleton under its skin, which is just called a skeleton.
Right. Okay, so this is where I kind of...
I thought... Well, real quick,
start to worry at this... Okay, go ahead.
I thought CG Predator looked all right. I thought the VFX in this movie, for the most part... I mean, like, there were a couple of rush shots during the obvious reshoots, but I thought for the most part, they're pretty nice.
I wasn't into it. I don't know.
I didn't... Like, it was jarring because you have practical suits Predator, and then suddenly there's a CG Predator, and it's just like, I got whiplash, but, like, after a while, I got used to it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, there's some pretty shitty VFX out there. I thought, as far as VFX go, for a movie of probably cheaper budget, it was pretty nice. It was all right.
It was passable, but I think...
I mean, there's no Thanos, but...
I think... So, okay, is this the point of the movie where you felt it took a turn?
Yeah.
Because this is where it took a turn for me, is when they introduced this giant thing. And then
they go to the barn.
And then they go to the barn.
Your favorite movie thing that happens.
Yeah.
They go to the barn, and everyone has a couple of fun sob story moments, but like they're all kind of boring.
Well, what happens is Sterling K. Brown catches up with them again, and we still don't really know why this dude is like evil and shit, but he just is. And he explains, I think, to them why this is all happening.
Yeah, so apparently there's like predators are scooping up DNA. Well, it's like a retcon, so it's like predators have been taking people's spines, and then they're bringing them back to their home planet, using them to make themselves better. So they're not just trophy hunters; they're stealing stuff.
Which makes me really sad.
Which annoyed me because it's like, oh, don't. It was a perfectly fine thing.
I know.
And now you're making it overcomplicated.
I know.
You're like alien covenanting the whole thing.
I'm telling you, when you add to the mythos of Predator, you're detracting from it as far as I'm concerned. All they need to be is big game hunters from outer space. That's it. I don't need them. I don't need them being the pharaohs that built the pyramids and released the xenomorphs onto the Egyptians. I don't need that.
I will say that Predator 2 added some nice things to the lore with the whole like warrior society, and it's like Danny Glover, you did good by killing this guy. We have a sword or whatever, right?
Yeah. So that was cool because they just it was still just like hunting culture, and that was it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when you add this extra element in, like, oh yeah, that's why they took the spines. It wasn't because they were just fucking assholes. It's because they took the spines and...
Yeah.
But then they say, okay, they take the spines, they go back, they insert human DNA into what?
Themselves.
So is that what that big thing is?
I think he's a bunch of stuff. He's like all the baddest things in the galaxy or whatever. And then also they're like also Sterling K. Brown's like, oh, and by the way, global warming, humans only got like 30 years left, and then they're gonna
Jesus
they're just gonna
Christ.
move right in. I'm like, A, that sounds a bit of an accelerated timeline, and B, I do appreciate that they brought back the whole predators love the heat and they come in the hottest times of the year
Right.
from the first movie. But that's stupid. Why do the
It
predators
is.
need to colonize? They got their own goddamn planet. There's not like a thing where it's like it's not like an
Yeah.
Independence Day. We got too many goddamn aliens. We need the Earth for our own things or whatever. And like, you know, it's like oh, and by the way, predators are like this colonizing alien species. This sort of boring, you know, has been everyone
Yeah.
like you know how all alien species are colonists. Well, these ones are too. Isn't that fun? No.
Yeah. And that right there is where the movie I'm like, oh, this is not good.
Yes. Oh no.
And
And then you know, and so McKenna et al. You know, escape violently from their captors, and then all the other friends, all the other Scooby Squad, just have a helicopter for whatever reason.
oh yeah,
They just
I
were
don't
never
know.
they were never detained, and now they have a helicopter. They just flying on a helicopter. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, it was Thomas Jane and Keegan Michael Key. Yeah, and I did see. I don't know. They just got a helicopter somehow, somewhere. They could have made it a joke, right? They could have made it up to be a joke that these people are just really good at stealing shit, but they just didn't address it, right? And then this is also the point where one of the dogs start following them around or something.
Yeah, there's like a maimed dog, and he just kind of is now their chum.
Yeah, and then also this is where our beloved Predator that I went to see a movie about has exited the movie because literally the bigger Predator smashed its face in.
Yeah, that was like a while ago. Also,
The bigger Predator, the less well designed bigger Predator has taken over the movie.
yep. And then
What do you think of the design of that big guy?
He's just kind of boring. Like
Yeah.
he's not wearing no armor. I didn't see. I don't know if he's wearing fishnets, but if he's not, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, hey, what if Predator was like really big? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
at least
no
the,
cool technology.
at
Nothing
least
like
the super
that.
predators are like weird looking with their like red faces and their super mandibles. Yeah. You know.
See, I just don't even know what those are anymore now.
Well, like the problem
Like-
with every Predator movie past two, or maybe this movie mostly, is that it's just like, hey, Predator 2, Predators, not really, which is fine, but like you're not adding anything, you're just making things worse.
It's like they keep trying to ape the Predator, and it's like, man, just give us the Predator. That's all I want.
Yeah, and then so yeah, they have the helicopter, and the kid knows based on a Predator technology where the crashed spaceship is, and they all go there. Except,
Well, aren't they following the dog?
No,
One of them's following
I
the
think
dog.
they might be. I don't remember anymore.
But, yeah.
No, because like Sterling K. Brown kidnaps Room,
Right.
and is taking him to the thing, and also so they like where the hell is the spaceship, and they find it, but it seems like there's already a perimeter established, so they set that perimeter really fast, I guess.
I think this was. Oh yeah, yeah. That is weird. I don't know what the hell that because that's the big guy's ship, right?
No, that's the original Predator ship.
Oh, okay.
And they were looking for it because it had the weapon to fight the Predators in it,
Right.
but.
Which, and somewhere along the line here, it's established that the smaller Predator was going to Earth to give humans this weapon to then fight the other Predators so that the Predators wouldn't go along with their scheme to destroy the Earth or whatever, to take over the Earth or something. So basically, the normal Predator is the good guy now, which every time that happens, I hate it.
Which doesn't make sense because he was killing so many people.
Right. Killed a bunch of scientists, killed a bunch of other people.
He killed a bunch of fucking soldiers for being around.
Yeah. And so and then now they go into this spaceship, and then I honestly don't even remember what happens.
Why is Sterling K. Brown such a dickhead if all he wants to do is save the human race? Why is he offering so many people, and why is he being so difficult to work with if all he wants is a super weapon? Unless he doesn't and he wants to blow it up, I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't. This is where I start I've checked out basically.
Well, all I remember. Well, I mean, not all I remember. So after this, so they get to the big spaceship, and the kid, uses his fucking autism to hack the code and get in, right?
Right.
And then all the other the gang of misfits, surround the whole thing, and they're like, oh, we're gonna rush in. But then Alphael, and with his 2 lines, is killed off.
He's killed off by the big
predator, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but then it's like, we got you surrounded, and there's a big firefight or whatever.
So then how did that big predator get over there so fast?
And then big predator, super predator, ultimate predator? I don't know what.
It took them a helicopter ride over to this place. How did that big slow-ass predator get... Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe he ran really fast.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got that cheetah DNA. Yeah, and then he shows up, and then like there's a big kerfuffle, and he goes in the big spaceship or whatever, and he's like, convenient English translation. It's like, hey guys,
oh my god,
it's me, Super Predator here. Just want to let you know, I'm gonna kill you all except for McKenna, and I'm gonna.
Right.
And so listen to him. You got like 7 minutes to go through these scary woods before I start coming for you. Also, I'm gonna blow up this ship. See ya.
Which is what is going on?
Yeah, at that point, like. I'm just like, I'm really...
So this thing's going to blow up its only way off of the planet?
Yeah, well, no, his other ship is fine, remember?
Yeah.
But I thought that was his ship because I was confused, because I wasn't paying attention.
I was confused, too.
I mean, like, it made sense when he blew it up. I'm like, oh, that was the first Predator ship, right? Because he's got his own ship in the woods, which we see. And so they're all in the woods during... Oh, also, this whole scene is obviously reshoots because Jacob Tremblay is, like, clearly older. I don't know if you noticed.
Jacob Tremblay is
little kid.
Oh,
he's like in that scene. I was like, he looks a lot older.
Really?
And then like my girlfriend's like, do you notice how much older that kid looked in the when they get the core? I'm like, yeah, I know. Those are the reshoot they did, I guess.
Okay.
It's like subtly older, but clearly like 6 months
He's
older
changed,
or something.
Yeah.
It's like, huh. And so yeah, then they're in the woods, and basically it's a bunch of who cares.
Right.
Like a bunch of people die. Sterling K. Bryan dies. I have no idea what happened. I didn't realize he was dead until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Until someone on the internet said, how'd he die? I'm like, oh, that guy died? I completely forgot he was in the movie.
Yeah. He's on his back, and then he's facing the end.
I think he, like apparently he's got like the shoulder cannon. He turns his head and it shoots his head off or something.
Oh.
But like, everything's in shadow. I can't tell. Like all of the
Keegan-Michael Key and Thomas Jane die.
It have a death that's supposed to be dramatic, but it ends up coming across as really funny. At least
People
according
laughed.
to our audience who are laughing at it.
People laughed.
It is a little silly.
It is a little silly.
I liked those characters, and I liked how they died, except I don't like that they died in such ridiculous proximity
way.
From each other. Predator gets lit in fire and then falls off a cliff, and then he just kind of shows up again.
Uh-huh.
He's like, he falls off a cliff on fire, and then a shot later, he's like behind someone. It's like, here I am. It's like,
Right.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make a lick of sense.
And so like everyone's basically dead, and then he steals the little kid because it's like, oh, that was McKenna the whole time.
Yeah, I wanted this McKenna.
Because what
dummy?
Because the thesis statement of this movie is the Predator wants this kid's autism to inject into the rest of the Predators, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's because
he's really good at reading their own language.
There's that scene in the beginning of the movie where the kid has like really good memory when it comes to setting back the chess pieces, and then he's really good at. He just has like photographic.
Like I guess like you want. It's just like it's a little silly, It's like I want his photographic memory. I guess
it's presented. It's the concept itself I can kind of get, but it's presented really badly. Right.
Well, it's like again, it's like I get the concept. It's like it makes sense, but again, it's like this is like movie Asperger's autism that we're talking about, which is already really like cliche and unclear. And then also Olivia Munn's like, some people say that autism is like the next step in the evolutionary chain, which is like I understand that apparently like it's a way like there's like I think the idea behind that is like autism is like it's good to have genetic complexity or diversity in your gene pool, which is that's what I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think when I hear that, I think like Magneto being like, oh, we're the next step, Charles. Gonna be can't take loud noises. Everyone in the future is gonna be really antisocial, Charles.
See, Predator picking off the X-Men. I can get behind that.
Oh man.
So
that's when I hear that kind of statement, you can't say that without it sounding very X-Men-ish. Olivia Munn,
Yeah.
Psylocke, if you
Yeah.
will.
So,
Anyways, he drags Kid to spaceship, and they jump on top of spaceship, and everyone dies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
for the main character, who doesn't die, and the spaceship crashes, and then they have like a boring fight where also the whole time this predator is completely impervious to bullets, which I find to be like 100% the opposite of what the predator is cool for, because the predator is just like a thing,
Right.
that can be shot, it can bleed, you can kill it.
He's just a good hunter.
He's just
That's
a hunter.
it.
He uses his wits
Yeah.
to avoid danger. And this other predator's like, I'm a big brick wall. I'm just so goddamn cool and badass. Nothing could hurt me. It's like a way to make yourself interesting, movie monster.
Yeah.
The best part of the Predator was how it was like, oh man, like, in a one-on-one fist fight, you might just be able to beat it.
Right.
Maybe just so if you had a couple of logs.
And that's if we're comparing that first movie, the masterpiece, if we're comparing Predator to The Predator, that was the interesting thing about the first movie is, hey, this guy, Dutch, like he might actually be able to do this just with his wits and his muscles, right? In this movie, it's like no, unless you do something crazy, you can't just go hand to hand with this giant lumbering jackass super predator.
Yeah, so they use like a bunch of gadgets and gizmos, and Olivia Munn, who was left in the dust, shows up at this crash site like it's easily like 50 miles away from where they were, and she just kind of strolls in and helps them, and they blow him up, and they turn him into a armless, legless turd in the wind.
Right.
And then they shoot him in the head, which didn't work just not 10 seconds ago.
Oh boy.
And then everyone's all happy, and then they cut to and the was so obviously a tacked on ending.
That ending was like it was like a hot fart in my face.
So the ending is they're in a government facility, and there's like a casket. It's like, we found the casket that was conveniently jettisoned off screen from this explosion.
Well, and hold on. So, okay, our main character, Quinn, he meets... Suddenly, the military is just fine with him not knowing this information. Or the military is just fine with him knowing this information now, right? And he meets up with this other gentleman who wasn't anywhere else in the movie. He's just in this last scene, which I guess is fine, but also, who the fuck is this guy? And then they go into that room and they find a casket.
Yep, and it's full of stuff, and it starts to open up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like us, the Predator killer. And I'm like, oh sweet, is this gonna be a fucking xenomorph? Or maybe it's like a clone of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, wouldn't that be so stupid? That made me so stupid, make me smile. That's how dumb it was. No, it's even dumber than that, though. Because it's just a big Iron Man suit with dreadlocks.
It's just an Iron Man suit version of the Predator. And that's how the movie... And then...
Oh, no.
Oh, and then Quinn says... All right, well, do they got that in a size 42 or some shit?
Suit me up, I'm going. And then it's like the end of the movie. It's like, first of all, I hate this character. I never want to see him. I don't want to see him in another movie. I don't want to see this whole scenario where you're fighting an invading army of predators, because that's not what the Predator... I don't want to see that at all, ever, for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's not anything... That's not... Sure, I'm sure people are interested in that. I'm not interested in that. Not at all. And, yeah, no. The original ending, supposedly, as it was written, was they were still in the woods, and then, like, the big crash ship, and a helicopter comes down, and then modern day Arnold Schwarzenegger steps out, and he's like, hey, guys, you got to come with me. And that's it.
I would have been all right with... Well...
That would have been nice, but he turned it down to be in Terminator 6.
But also the rest... See, like, that's the thing is, like, that would have been wasted still on a bad movie.
Yeah, it would.
So I guess I'm fine with it not happening.
Speaking of wasting a bad movie, the whole concept that they're going for, it's like predators tracking some other predator. It's like, oh man, that's like when they said that, like, ooh, that's so cool. It's really a shame that they wasted it on this movie.
I know.
Because, like, here's my, like, if they wanted to make a movie about the Predator, like, here's my pitch. And, like, I'm not saying it would be better necessarily filmed, and like this version could have been fine, but like if I had to construct a movie, a Predator sequel, you'd be like, how predators are sport hunters, right?
Yeah.
So what if one of the predators starts coming to Earth and he's just fucking poaching? He's killing the innocent. He's killing children. He's killing women. He's just taking trophies. Just like using all the shit, like a real asshole.
Jeez.
Like that's what like hunters, like poachers do, right? And so it's like up to, but he's like the fucking best predator though, and he's gone AWOL, and so it's up to Space Cop Predator to take him down. Space Cop Predator has to team up with a bunch of humans, which I know you hate. But then they're hunting the Predator. It's like, who's hunting who? Hunts. The hunt's on. Everyone's hunting. I mean, like, it doesn't sound like a much better movie, but I can imagine it being less fucky with the lore, at least.
Less fucky with the lore. Hey, you know what, Alex? I would watch that movie over this movie.
I mean, it's so easy to turn it dumb. Like this movie, again, it's like there's nothing wrong with the log line. It's just sort of, well, again, there's something wrong with the log line when it's not about the fucking Predator. Change the title.
The problem, honestly, and I know like this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but I really think people are shooting themselves in the foot when they try to do anything other than what the first movie was. And that all it is this alien comes to Earth to hunt the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And you can do different things with that. You could have like you could be like, hey, let's make a movie where it's like spoofy Avengers.
Oh, right.
And it's like Avengers going and they're going to fight whatever. They're just on a mission. The Avengers are on a mission, right? But it's like instead of Iron Man, it's just like Techno Man, and
Uh-huh.
And so they're going in, and then all of a sudden, like Mr. America or whatever, the Captain Freedom or whatever, he's like doing his thing, and then all of a sudden, just you see the beam, and it just blows his head off.
Yeah.
Like
I forgot to mention, like them in my scenario too, it would start like Fast and Furious. Like the first 25 minutes, it's just the Fast and Furious, and then suddenly the Predator shows up.
Yeah. I see, that's a great movie. And that's all it needs to be is you just have your ensemble cast and they're getting picked off by the Predator.
Yeah.
That's all your movie needs to be. But they keep doing like it sucks because this movie makes me justify the second Predator movie and Predators, both movies I didn't really care for before. Now I'm like, oh, you know what? Those movies aren't so bad.
It's like Star Wars syndrome.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sucks because Shane Black is great, and I've loved his movies, and like
all the people involved in the movie are great. It's just it feels like a movie that was pulled in 1,000 directions by 1,000 people, and it doesn't know what it wants to be. It ends up being nothing really.
And you know what the bummer about it is even more is this means it's going to be another 10 years before we get a Predator movie.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, there's A, that, and B, if we do get another Predator movie, it's going to be a sequel to this, which is just the worst.
I get the feeling, based on like the critical reception this is getting and everything, they're probably going to do with this what they did with the last two movies and basically be like, well, we're stripping that lore and just focusing on something else.
Yeah, well, probably. It also was a pretty soft opening. It wasn't like it was kind of low. I mean, like, apparently it's like the lowest. It's still number one, but it was like the lowest opening movie in over 4,000 theaters. Like, it only made $25 million.
Oh.
Which is basically what Predators made in its opening weekend too.
Oh wow.
So like not a failure, but
Predator doesn't seem to have mass appeal like that anyways. Like my mom's not going to go out and watch The Predator.
No, but I mean like, there's a built-in fan base though.
Yeah.
Just got to, I don't know. So like, I can't say where the franchise should go or what they should do. I do want to see more Predator.
I do too, but I'm afraid. Honestly.
Well, now, especially now that Disney owns the Predator, so we'll see what they do with it. Because now Predator can fucking actually fight the real Avengers, man.
I would not put it past Disney to actually make a really good fucking Predator movie. Honestly, I would not put it past them to be like, you know what, guys? We're gonna have. Oh, okay. This might be a really bad idea, but think about it.
Hey, think about it.
What if they were like, hey, guys, we are going to connect the Alien, Predator, we're going to connect that into one franchise now.
Well, we already have that.
We do, but it sucked.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But they're like, we're going to give you an AVP, but it's going to be good. I'd be down.
I mean, like, yeah, it could be. It's really easy to make good. Basically, it'd be like that. You start with an Alien movie, and then half an hour in, suddenly it's a Predator movie.
Yeah.
That's how you...
Well, it's just the Predator hunting Alien. That's it.
And then what other properties does Fox own? Avatar.
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Could have Peter Griffin on the planet with them.
Like it's not. They don't own. Do they own RoboCop? Because like RoboCop vs Predator is like
I feel like RoboCop would be a Fox property, but maybe not. I don't know. Terminator.
I think it's like one of them. Well, I know isn't RoboCop like one of them? I don't know who owns it now, but I think it was one of the like them older studios, like not Canon, but like that kind of like thing back then, like
Gotcha.
Orion, something like that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know who owns RoboCop now, but I don't know.
Oh, MGM had it back in the reboot, I think, when they did that. Aren't they making a new RoboCop right now? Isn't that happening? Like a sequel, like a real RoboCop 2, as they say.
Yeah.
Directed by someone. Is it? Is that what Neil Blomkamp's doing, or am I making that up?
Neil Blom. Right now, it's called RoboCop Returns.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's in development. And Neil Blomkamp.
Ooh, there's no F in that. You keep saying
Camp. Neil Blomkamp. Camp.
Blomkamp.
Damn.
That's very exciting. I love his style. I know, like, he's only really made one great movie, and I enjoyed the other two, but I wouldn't buy them.
There's 9 writers. Oh, wait. Based on the characters created by Michael Miner. Creator, Michael Miner. Story, Michael Miner.
That's a lot of Michael Miners.
Edward Numier. Based on the characters created by him. Okay, so these two take up 6 of the 9 writers' slots. Justin Rhodes wrote the script. I don't know who that is.
So it's got one writer.
Yeah, it has one writer named Justin Rhodes. I don't know.
That'd be fun. I mean, like, the RoboCop style kind of meshes well with Neil Blomkamp's kind of like slightly found footage militarism that he's got going on.
I'll give it a try. I think it'd be cool. I mean, he's been away from movies for a little while. I think it'd be cool if maybe he came back with a little bit more, chops.
Are you talking about Neil Blomkamp, or are we talking
Neil
about Peter
Blomkamp.
Weller?
Peter Weller? Wait, they put him back into the RoboCop? Wait, is he going to be Wait, no.
I think they asked him back.
Okay, I would just assume they're continuing that.
I mean, RoboCop, you might as well
one.
just make him like a stunt double or CG thing, just have him voiced by Peter Weller.
But what
Can you
I mean
imagine
is,
like a gravelly voiced fucking RoboCop?
isn't this taken? This is the second installment with the new guy, right?
No, this is a continuation of the original series.
Oh, weird.
You know how they do that? They do the thing where it's like, it's what they're doing with fucking like Devil May Cry and all that kind of stuff. It's like, hey, we're gonna reboot this. That turned out shitty. We're making a sequel to the original series. What?
Which they should have just done from the get-go, right?
I have no problem with reboots, especially when like an original series is sort of like, what are you gonna do? Like, well, the problem with reboots is they just do the same thing again.
But they do it less. And if you're taking RoboCop, the original movie, damn, dude, it is hard to make a movie that's gonna capture that. There's so many elements to that original RoboCop movie.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm down for one last ride with Peter Weller.
RoboCop
Nude.
Returns, Naked Lunch 2.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Oh. Well, Alex.
RoboCop fights William S. Burroughs.
I don't know what any of that is. William S. Burroughs?
Watch Naked Lunch, man.
Oh, okay.
It's a weird movie. It's a David Cronenberg movie, man.
Oh, okay.
Fucking Peter Weller's keyboard turns into a monster. And starts like breathing.
Jesus.
Or not keyboard, is a typewriter.
Alex, I'm going to ask you a question I always ask at the end of these minisodes. Predator, on your own scale, on your own individual, because I know we have different ones. What would you rate The Predator?
I would give it 1.5 stars out of 4.
1.5 stars out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go out of 10, and I'm going to give this a... Oh, man, maybe a 6.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Because here's the thing. There was a good chunk of the movie that I actually enjoyed. Right? I thought that, like, up until a very specific part of the movie, it was like, this is a good movie. It wasn't like dog shit the entire time.
No.
So for me, it's sort of like, yeah, Give it like a D-, I guess.
Outside. Yeah, you're talking about the 60% on the grade scale.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie, like aside from like the story beats that we already complained about, I don't think anything in the movie is dog shit. It's just kind of like gets really boring after a certain point.
Right.
Like there's nothing like, oh man, this is like the garbiest garbage. It's just sort of like, this is kind of just uninteresting. I'm just kind of bored.
And I mean, if you're going in wanting a Predator movie, you reach a certain point where it's like, this is not my Predator movie. It's funny, when I went into work today, I talked to someone who saw it, and they're like, so I saw The Predator, and yeah, it was really good. It felt like a Predator movie. And I'm like, huh.
I disagree, sir. I don't know.
Wow, okay.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think, like, it's like, you know, the whole, like, what a movie feels like is, like, such a debatable thing. And I would disagree with that. But, like, it's hard to... I didn't feel like a Predator movie to me. It felt like a movie with Predator in it, I guess. Which is, like, you know, not to say that the movie should feel like the first Predator movie, but it just didn't feel like a Predator movie. Not in that kind of way. It did have the classic score, though, which I do appreciate.
A little bit in there, yeah.
One of the great unsung scores of the modern age. People don't talk about how great that score is enough.
It didn't have that, you know, the little... Yeah. Or did it have that?
I don't know.
Maybe it did.
It just had the... I don't know, like, you know, like the main fanfare.
Right, yeah. Well, there you go, folks. The 2018's The Predator by Shane Black. Do you like it?
A novel.
A novel. Yeah, he wrote a novel about the Predator. Did you like it? Maybe you did. Leave it in the comments. You think we're full of shit? Go ahead and tell us in the comments. But we hope you agree with us that it was not a great sequel.
And if you liked it, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you think, if you thought it felt like Predator, that's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't, but I'm not going to get any case about it.
Yeah. Hey, until the next 10 years when they make another Predator movie.
The Predators, to make the title.
The Predators.
To make it extra confusing. So we got Predator, Predators, The Predator, and then The Predators.
Right, yeah. And then Predator 4.
Predator Returns.
5, Concrete Jungle. Wasn't Predator 2 called Predator 2 Concrete Jungle or something?
No, I think that was a video game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I think Predator 2 is just called Predator 2.
Right.
You got Predator Forever, Predator and Robin.
Yeah, Predator Begins.
Predator Begins.
We see how he...
oh, no, that could be a real thing. That someone might actually have that terrible idea. It's like, let's make a Predator origin story for the Predator for the first movie. And we'll see how him as like a young, scrappy so-and-so and go on his first hunt.
Yeah, I know. That would be bad.
It kind of reminds me of that Die Hard prequel they're making right now.
Right. Well, they're switching back between some young actor and then Bruce Willis, apparently. It's like it's cutting back and forth, which...
Hopefully they get, the guy that played his son in Die Hard 5 to play young Bruce Willis.
Oh, Jai Courtney?
Yeah. Why don't you just go all in? No one cares. Just do it.
Or you can get Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he played him in Looper.
Oh, that would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun?
Give him a prosthetic Bruce Willis nose.
I wouldn't watch that, but it'd be fun.
I've said all I've needed to say, Alex. What about you?
Bye.
Bye. Hope you don't enjoy it.
What? Don't enjoy what? Wait, the podcast or the movie?
The movie.
No, enjoy the movie. I hope you enjoy it.